Hello and welcome to my Pillars of Eternity Definitive Edition blind playthrough. Today we have episode number 39, and in the last episode and also in the episode before we ventured deep underneath the Kednua into the endless paths, and we were able to traverse 5 more underground levels, and we found all of the missing pieces of the broken blade of endless path. And today we're gonna find the blacksmith who will be reforging our blade. So let's continue right away. So the first blacksmith will be Dunstan at the Crucible Knight's Keep in the first fire district of Defiance Bay. So let's see if he can help us. He turns from the forge, getting his hammer on the work table. You need something? Dunstan yells as if deafened by repeated hammer blows. I found all of the pieces of this ancient sword. Do you think you could repair it? Aye, and it would be a privilege too. Not often you get to lay eyes on such fine craftsmanship. He runs a calloused finger along the edge of one of the shards. This blade will take some time, but I guarantee it will be worth it. He beams. Finest work I've ever done, if I may say so. It's only a shame I can't take all the credit for it. Something else on your mind? Goodbye. Dunstan was impressed by my find. He agreed to reforge the blade of Endless Path for me, and I need only retrieve it once it's finished. I successfully retrieved all pieces of the Blade of Endless Path and had it reforged by the smith Dunstan in Defiance Bay. This powerful weapon should serve me well in my travels. And it's two-handed as stock. Interesting. And two-handed. Too bad. I have no one at the moment who could wield it. We'll see what will be better in the end. Elder Sun Advance Redeemer or the Blade of Endless Paths. Anyway. I need to check some quests. We have 3 bounties. And this in Elmshore, and we do not have unlocked Elmshore yet. This one is in the White March. And I'll think I will continue with this quest. So let's go to the wooden plains.
Certainly. Do you still have family living in the Deerwood, Adair?
No, not these days. Parents left the country years back during the purges. I think about them a lot.
It's a shame you and your family suffered, even after the Saints' War ended. You Deerwoodens certainly have a knack for holding on to old grudges.
Wooden planes. Let's see if there are someone on the road. At the camp. No? Let's check this one, if this is what they mean as a camp. Oh. Bine eyes you with amusement, but his voice carries menace. You must be lost, pup. The giant slayers don't share bounties. Venom thinks you're taking too long. His smug expression fades in an instant, and he had the goal to send you? His hands moves to his hilt. I just... I should just kick. He stops himself, gritting his teeth. The well-groomed man leans in, swaying as if drunk. You think you can get the weapons? You've got two problems, rookie. A flooded entrance for one, and crushable patrols for another. We've seen more knights than face painters out here. Why are the knights of the crucible here? Damned if I know. They are glorified thugs in armor and usually prefer their feathered beds to camp costs. I'd get to one in an instant, but I can't collect bounties as a wanted man. Tell me about the flooded entrance. Must be the rains, he shrugs. We found this in the water, though. He holds up a flat circular piece of adra and drops it into a pouch on his belt. Not much natural adra around here. Might be a key of some kind. Couldn't experience much with the damn knights prowling around. What do you know about these weapons? When I'm paying a good coin on them, that's all I need to know. So, what now? That's an interesting question. You see, we never ever shares bounties. His companions move to stand in line with him, hands on their weapons. That's Venon's problem, not mine. You should talk to your employer. I'll have words with Venon, don't worry about it. He steps forward, his weapons now in hand. You still shouldn't have come. I really want to do this, but let's go the intellect route. Admit it, you have no idea what to do next, or you wouldn't be sitting around out here. Bine's face flushes bright red, his hands inches towards his axe, but it finds the other disc instead. He hurls it at your feet. Then let's see you do better. Unless you're all talk, that is. He turns to his companions. Come on, hot meals for us tonight. We'll deal with these upstarts later. Be saying you. He turns to his partners and nods, and they follow his lead down the hill. The giant slayers mentioned that the Crucible Knights have been patrolling Stonewall Gorge more than usual. I'll have to watch my step out there. The giant slayers found that they believed to be an allarcade to the ruins at Stormwall Gorge, just east of Wooden Plains, but they couldn't figure out how to use it. Now that I have it, I can try my luck. A rival adventuring group by giant slayers was sent, but has been unsuccessful. So, let's go right away to the Stormwall Gorge. So, let's see. Looting is punishable by death. Oh, noes. Where are you? Go stun him.
Not even slow them down!
On the hunt.
Certainly.
And let's check this. The bright sun casts its lights on a pattern in the ground. You kneel to get a better look. The stone here has been carved with a few simple shapes. A small circular indentation marks the center, and a much larger circle surrounds it. You see what appears to be writing above the two circles. Place the other disc in the indentation. The stone fits into the indentation, but with nothing to hold it in place, it simply falls out. You feel as if you are doing something wrong. Look at the circular indentation. The indentation is rather shallow, but appears to be perfectly sized for the other disc you got from Jalt's lairs. Let's wait a while. You wait for a few hours, marking the sun's journey across the sky. Place the other disc in the indentation. The stone fits into the indentation, but with nothing to hold it in place, it simply falls out. Just wait out a little bit again. You wait for a few hours, marking the sun's journey across the sky. Place the other disc in the indentation. Again, something wrong. Outer circle. Several shapes have been carved along the outer ring, though most have been worn away. You can make out a crescent above the center. Writing. The curving twist runes are strangely familiar too. You recognize them as an ancient Ingwitan. They read, "All thing ends, only to continue anew. Enter now at dusk, that we may all experience a new dawn." Let's do it one more time. Wow! The stones rest easily in the space and you feel air rushing into tiny gaps in the indentation. It appears to be held firmly in a place now. Let's continue. You hear the sliding of stone underneath your feet and a sudden rush of water. The pool before you begins to drain. Interesting. So, let's go inside. If Venan is right, the ruins of Rhemen contains a cache of powerful weapons. I'm sure I'll know them when I see them.
My thoughts will be as silent as my feet.
The Angwitan symbols are worn and faded, but the words strike a familiar chord: duty before self. Let's see what we can find here. You hear grating and grinding coming from the stone head above you. The ships of Edra in its eye sockets glow bright green. A voice deep and resonant echoes from the stone mouth. What begins as a garble of language resolves itself in your own mother tongue. There is no truer blade than essence, forged in bronze. Turn twice to the left and prepare your soul for its reckoning.
If secrets whisper here, I shall listen for them.
Let's see here.
Silence surrounds me.
So, we have to go twice to the left. But not before exploring
Finish
this a little bit.
Quiet.
A Spectre. Okay, into here.
Does it try? On the hunt.
The symbols here catch the light from braziers. All honor to those who give of themselves for the glory of Engwith. The pale stones around the room looks dull and lifeless.
Certainly.
So let's go back for a while.
Quiet.
And another spider. 2 of them.
What?
I can't move.
Kinda stuck over here.
Oh? On the hunt.
Deflection +5. No.
Certainly.
Let's go here first. And we have some shades here.
Hey,
Yeah!
this thing isn't doing the job.
-3 here, -3 here, and maybe you.
Shh. Certainly.
Oh. Oh, let's see what happens when we talk to it. The stone face Adra's eyes glow, and the voice rumbles from its open mouth. The past is the hilt of a weapon. The true warrior grasps it and knows his strength. Speak the quality of that defines you. I'm consistent and reliable. I can work through any obstacles with patience and dedication. So it is with your power. A symbol burns on the wall behind the stone head. Interesting. The stone head is silent, its other eyes have dulled.
Yes? I'll stay out of sight.
So let's see. Let's check this one if we can do anything else.
Silence
Signs.
surrounds me. Yeah. Spot on! Spot on! Spot on!
You feel an unwelcome crawling sensation in your head. A high-pitched ring overwhelms your senses and is accompanied by an angry utterance. Invader, thief! The voice is alien and fierce, jolting through your mind like lightning. Needless stab at your brain with every syllable but vanish abruptly along with the words. The ringing in your head is gone.
They shall see nothing while I see much.
The serpentine symbols and icons of Engvith engraved into the floor results into words in your mind. The warrior shall call forth 2 witnesses, and they shall take up positions upon the emblems that bear testament to the character of its soul. The warrior shall ascend the dials, thought, vessel, and hand to undergo transference. Bearing his soul vessel and weapon with the heart of Adra, the warrior may then approach the urn. In this way, he shall fashion an arm worthy of his skill and ambitions. A cylindrical hollow scarcely wider than the shaft of weapons runs through the center of this pedestal.
If secrets whisper here, I shall listen for them.
So let's check this around and see. One is this, and we will need to unlock one more, and I think it might be somewhere here. Or here. But I'm curious, what is this? But not yet. We'll get back soon.
If secrets whisper here, I shall listen for them.
Here and
Oh?
here. No. This. Stun her. And Palagina. No. Still this one.
This one repels my
It took long.
Spot on!
This thing isn't doing the job.
Yes?
They shall see nothing while I see much.
How many more? 27. Okay, and oh, we'll get soon another level. I like that. Small white stones bloom from the rock. They all feel firmly fixed in a place, but there's a hollow where one appears to have been removed.
Certainly.
As a green light spills from the relief's eyes, you hear another deep, rough-edged voice. Desire is the aim of the soul. It is purpose and direction, the sharpened point of a blade. Speak your ambition, that your soul may strike true. I would inspire those around me and lend my strength to our common purpose. So it shall be. A symbol glows to life in the wall. It pulses with light, smoldering against the lichen-covered wall. A vessel of flesh may house a soul for years, but a vessel of bronze will house a soul for generations. Enter the water and choose a vessel of stone. So we have this.
Be cautious. Be constant.
And we have this. Okay. So we need two guys to step on that.
Hmm?
Myself will be going
Certainly.
here.
Yeah?
A druid will be standing here. And Screaming Mother will stand here.
Oh? Certainly.
No? What am I doing wrong? Once again. Soul vessel in hand. Let's check the quest items. Hmm. What am I doing wrong? Or where the hell is the soul vessel? Which I should hold in my hand.
Yes?
Let's check this first. This large tunnel curves underneath the floor and continues to the east. It's blocked by glistening ropes of webbing that you might be able to slide past. The walls beneath the webbing feel weak and crumbly. With the proper tools, you might be able to widen the passage. Let's widen the tunnel with a hammer and chisel. You find a weak point in the rock and hammer at the walls of the passage. The brittle stone crumbles away. Within minutes you created enough room to slip through the tunnel. As you clear the passage, the needle-like voice digs into your skull once more. Infiltrating, pursuing, you shall not have it. You hear a hungry chittering, no feet. Skittering creatures with gnashing mandibles purr from the walls.
My
Uh-oh.
head is spinning. Stand clear. I think I'm gonna vomit. Oh, my head is spinning.
You hear yourself.
Oh?
Slowly now.
That's it. Let's
Certainly.
go everyone up the stairs again. And if not, let's go to tunnels again.
Yes? Hmm?
Sticky threads of webbing dangle from the mouth of the tunnel. The passage through it is clear enough. Enter the tunnel.
Hmm?
Light, flame, and sound. We'll keep to ourselves.
So here is the tunnel.
Certainly.
Shattered crystal crunches and tinkles underfoot.
Oh? Yes?
Too much spiders. A rogue, gangling creature lurches towards you, and you feel something needling into your brain again. The screeching hiss that invades your mind is etched with rage. Digging and ferreting animal. It pauses, its mouthpiece clacking. When its words fill your mind again, they are tempered with fear. My legacy. It clutches an egg-like stone in its spindly fingers. The white stone glows with life, and you feel a presence inside. The creature notices your interest. For the colony. It cocks its head. Animal calm, peaceful. Yes. Its thoughts echo back at you from within the stone. It occurs to you that a piece of the creature's soul is somehow housed within it. What are you doing with that stone? Such a different form, and yet its mind is alive with the same thoughts as ours. She closes her eyes. Home, family, memory. Legacy, colony. Its segmented mouthparts scrape together. Young are always few, slow to hatch, fragile. The creature indicates itself with a hairy appendage. Last of colony, soon to die. It draws the stone closer to its narrow chest. Long-dead animals put spirit stuff in metal. It points behind it. I keep spirit stuffed in stone. Take to new colony. Colony alone is weak, young, frail, empty of wisdom. But two colonies together survive. Make strong colony. It strokes the stone. Need legacy to create new colony. Keep it strong. Go, and may there be a peace between our kinds. Its black, unblinking eyes stare back you. Warm relief gushes into your mind. Knows peace and gentleness. It does. Let it go. Bring legacy. Many thanks.
To whispers and shadows.
What was that? Ancient and Guten weapons and Kladhaliath. I found the ancient weapons when I was looking for at Rhemen. They're tarnished beyond repair, and they seem to contain the remnants of some kind of soul energy. I can explain this to Venan at the expedition hall. So another payback time. Nothing else here? Yes.
Now here's something.
And let's check the girls. Knockdown or... +1 stag helm. And... this one is much better for him. Does she have something to dexterity? No. So, let's give it to her. +1 intellect. Hmm. Let's see. And this is a spear. So let's go back to the copper lane. Sticky threat of way being line the mouth of the tunnel, but the passage through it is clear enough now. Enter the tunnel.
I'm ready.
Yeah?
Let's see.
Yes? Oh?
Nope.
Certainly.
So now it's our way to. We need to go visit the Dozen headquarters in the expedition hall. Unfortunately, because I play blindly this game, I planned before to join the Crucible Knights because it fits a little bit more my playstyle. But I ended up taking up the quests which made me side with the Dozen, so I have to follow that for now, and unfortunately it cannot be abandoned. So we'll see how this goes. Stalwarts sent a plea for assistance. They've been attacked by ogres and fear they could be sacked any day. Well, we have finished that already. Your informations are a little bit late. Or out of date. Let's find Venan then.
I'll stay out of sight.
Here he is. Venan casually nods your way. His eyes continue to float from mercenary to mercenary as he speaks. What else do you need? I brought the weaponry you were looking for.
They're old, all right. But this isn't what I was expecting. I don't suppose you figured out what was supposed to make them so special.
The Anguitans used to fill them with fragments of their own essence. Beath, take them. He stares at the rusted weapons in horror and disgust. If I'd known, I'll see that someone dispose of this perversion. Seems like a reasonable reaction to finding cultural artifacts you don't understand.
At least I don't have to waste any more expeditions on this. If the Knights make a move, we'll just have to face them down with old-fashioned deer wood and metal.
Hopefully, you can avoid any conflict. He folds his arm. If they ask for trouble, we'll be there to answer. Speaking of the knights, his eyes darts back to you. I hear you had a run-in with a patrol at Stormal Gorge. I didn't have a choice. He looks you clear in the eye. Might be I sent them your way. Needed them to turn their attention away from the city for a while. Now they'll be doubling and tripling those patrols. There's a reckoning coming when these hearings end. Folks have had it with the legacy. They've had it with soul butchers angering the gods. If the Duke won't stop them, I'll be the effigy and the good if the good of if the good people of the earth don't seem to treat ourselves. And the dozens lead the charge. Palagina's golden eyes narrow, and she gives you a sidelong glance, shaking her head in disapproval. The knights are with the Duke on this one. If he decides it's wrong, they'll be in our way. I'm just making preparations. A lopsided grin spreads across his face. I knew you'd well. I knew you'd do well. Don't hold it against me. You may not like what the knights represent, but there's a lot to learn from them. He snorts, like how to scratch pretty letters into armor, but he looks thoughtful as he rubs his blond fingers over his stubble. He slaps you on the shoulder. Anyway, I owe you one. I want you to take my old war bow. It's a rusty piece, but I won't be sniping in the shadows when Defiance Bay has need of us. No hard feelings, I hope. If there's anything else I can do for you, just let me know. Farewell. I retrieved the equivalent weapons for Venan, but I had to kill a patrol of Crucible Knights in the process. At least I've gained the trust of the dozens. And let's see what we
Oh?
have learned. Mob Justice. Plus 5 accuracy when attacking same target as an ally. Not good. And let's see. Cloud Piercer. Warbow. And also Warbow. Let's give it to Eder for now.
Oh?
For a while. Let's see what we have more here. Durance, Bellow, Longhorn, Craigholt, the child of five sons, Ian Woodfield, burden of memory, his better half, Rhemen memory, true to form, the master's tools, the headed house. So, let's do this. It's time to finish this one. I completely forgot about it.
Certainly.
So let's meet.
We need someone to help us seek an audience with the Duke. But the dozens are little more than a mob.
Let's take this one. What are our alternatives? The Demanals and the Crucible Knights? What would you rather keep their company? Would you rather keep their company?
At least with the Dominels, we can be confident that the bloodshed will be minimal.
Can we?
The streets won't run red. The Dominels can be violent, but always with a goal in mind. They're certainly no friends to me or the Republics, but their motives are easy to understand.
Interesting thinking.
Yes?
Durance, do you take anything seriously? Or is the entire world just a setup for your idiotic punchlines?
The world is the punchline, Birdwoman. In all its weakness. Would you kill the messenger?
If he were as annoying as you, I'd consider it.
Good to know. Breckenmory. It is done. Well, I'm really no, not doing it. It was part of the quest which could lead us to join the Demanals, but they're really not my way. And Cyril here. What she's doing here? You should have seen the looks on these nobles' face when I moved in. So you lives here again. Interesting. As you near the apparition, you are overcome suddenly by a powerful anxiety that sits like a stone in your stomach. The feeling is not quite real, the recollection of an emotion rather than emotion itself. It wrenches your insides nevertheless. The apparition's brow is tensed, a look of concern plain across its face.
The other missionaries say you have been neglectful of your duties.
They lie.
They speak out of concern for you. Now tell me, is there something to their concerns?
The pain in your stomach deepens, and you feel for a moment a stuff you are about to be sick. Your mouth has gone dry. Forgive me, Eminence, I wish to leave the order. The man folds his fingers together and presses them into his mouth, thoughtful.
You have been an apt student, and your convictions have inspired those around you. May I ask what has changed to make you feel this way?
The people we intended to convert, they committed unspeakable acts, sacrifices, mutilations. The apparition exhales slowly, and its lips press together, a sympathetic report in its eyes. It places its hands on your shoulder.
These are the ways of the heathen world.
Surely, the gods would do better to destroy us all and start anew.
Perhaps they would. It may come to that one day. This is why we must not fail. The heathens are beyond the gods' reach. They do not know better. We are tasked with delivering them to the gods, so that the gods may heal their souls.
Is such a thing possible?
I have seen it with my own eyes. You will see it too, if you choose to remain. There is no greater calling than the one we have chosen. Neither words, nor wealth, nor battle will end this suffering. Only the gods. Will you give them that chance?
The knot in your stomach seems to loosen all at once, and the anxiety is replaced with something else entirely. Something warm and soothing, and it is something you know you can never repay. As the vision fades, you start to become cognizant of the many odd looks aimed in your direction. Your last response echoes in your mind. I will.
Good day to you.
Excuse me, but I've been looking for you. You're the one who lifted the curse on Heritage Hill. My lady, who wishes to remain anonymous, has entrusted me with bringing you this pistol. It belonged to a dear friend of hers who was lost to the curse. For your part in reclaiming Heritage Hill, my lady wishes you to have it. Here may it serve you well in battle. Thank you. She bows. You are quite welcome. No, I must be off. Farewell. Here, St. Graham's Park. That might be interesting for her for the moment. Okay.
Yes,
Let's go into the Hatred house
certainly.
then.
Gods keep you.
Hello again, my mysterious friend. Farewell. I think the Lady Web is upstairs, if I remember correctly. Okay. Oh, let's go upstairs then.
Certainly.
Lady Webb will see you now.
I'll stay out of sight.
This woman clutches a thick stack of parchment with spindly, wrinkled fingers, their flesh stretched thin to near translucence with extreme age. A gossamer veil over pale blue veins, ink splotches and candle burns dot and stripe her hands like a quilt patterned after some great indescribable truth. She does not look up from her reading.
So, the messenger conveyed my summons. A miracle that would make the reincarnation of Aothis look like a child's cantrip, surely. It doesn't draw the most inspired minds, messaging. They failed me so many times of late, I nearly sent a cipher after you instead. So this is the Watcher who took over Cad Noir. Oh, don't look so surprised. It isn't an attractive expression. I wouldn't be where I am for long if I let details like that escape me.
Seems we've been standing upwind of her, and she's had time to catch our scent. Your reputation precedes you, Watcher.
And this fiasco in the sanitarium that you seem to have gotten yourself into the middle of. What in blazes possessed you to stir that nest of trouble?
I am investigating a strange group.
Strange does not begin to describe them. The practices of the Leaden Key defy all reason. You're not the only one with an interest in their recent activities. I've lost 4 ciphers this year alone trying to get someone inside their ranks. As it is, we only have our suspicions about who is in the group and what they intend, which I suppose means we have much in common with them. I asked you here because I wanted to know what your interest was in all of this. I thought perhaps we might help each other. Why are you looking for the Leaden Key?
One of their members caused my soul to awaken. I need him to reverse it. She closes her eyes and the lids flicker. Then her eyes go still, and her mouth parts a little more than a sliver, and her hand briefly drops open, spilling some of her parchment to the ground. The pages wafting around her legs like the leaves of a dying tree. Her fleshy eyelids peel back, and her gaze is immediately upon you.
The gods are cruel, I'm afraid. The man you seek is Theos Ix Arcanon, Grand Master of the Leaden Key. One of the most elusive and dangerous men Aora has ever known.
How do you know I seek Theos?
Because you have seen his face, and that makes it a simple matter for me to see it. You even happened to catch him in his ceremonial garb, it seems. It must have been a special occasion.
What can you tell me about Theos?
More than most, though very few would know so much as his name. And there is no way of knowing how much of what I've read is true. The Leaden Key dates back more than 2,000 years. If rumors are to be believed, Theos was the one who created it. What scraps of evidence exist suggest that he has died many times, only to be reborn each time exactly the same man. Awakened during adolescence,
with all the knowledge and experience of all his lifetimes. The plots he orchestrates sometimes take hundreds of years to bear fruit. Needless to say, this is not the natural order of things. But he is said to be one of Whitaker's favored, and that old bat was never one to let rules get in the way of favoritism. That may also explain another supposed gift of his. His body is no boundary to his soul, and he is known to take possession of others, if their souls are weak enough. Often it is for elaborate deceptions, but sometimes he simply forces them to kill themselves. He is not known for his generous supply of pity. He is also not one to show himself in any but their most critical matters. If he has directly involved himself in whatever the group plots now, it may be your only chance to find him. And once you do find him, if you can find him, I would not hold my hopes too high if I were you. He is a driven, single-minded man. He will not have the slightest concern for your problems.
How do you know so much about Theos?
The same way I come by all my knowledge. Exhaustive research, spying, bribery, perhaps some less savory measures. Whatever the knowledge demands, I pay in full. There is nothing of greater value. Unfortunately, with Theos, there is also nothing more scarce. He has covered his tracks far too well. His manipulations of the course of history are lost to time now, though I believe they were many.
What else is there to know about the Leaden Key?
Precious little, I'm afraid. You may know much of it already. No one member knows the identity of more than a handful of other members. They are kept in the dark of missions they are not involved in, or sometimes of those they are involved in. They exist to hide secrets they themselves don't know, if you can imagine how gullible someone must be for that to appeal. Despite that, they are very good at what they do, owing much to their founder, who will take matters into his own hands when necessary, and he does not fail.
What do you want from me?
Keep me informed. The Leaden Key has been busy lately, and that is distressing news. I can only guess as to what they intend. You seem to have a knack for turning the stones they've crawled beneath. Keep turning them. Dunreed Row will not stop you. Whatever it is they're up to, figuring it out will be of great use to both of us. In your case, it will surely point you to Theos. In return, I will share our knowledge with you as we learn it, and provide you with what assistance I can.
Very well.
If you find your trail has run cold, come to me with whatever you have. There is much I may be able to do for you.
I have other questions.
Yes?
Tell me more about Dunrid Row.
All the things there are to know in this world, and you ask me about work. Deerwood is a rebel country. Conflict is in its blood. If you think a few guards posted in our cities keep chaos at bay, you are very new to town indeed. We are Deerwood's cipher investigators, of course. But what we really are is its last barrier against anarchy. People are more at ease when they believe they are watched over by someone more enlightened than they are. It pacifies them. So that is the image we foster. And we do try to be enlightened for their sake. The knowledge we gather here is Deerwood's standing army in many ways. We learn what's vital and we act on it while Deerwood sleeps, blissfully unaware of the terrifying truths all around them. I wish I could tell people the things I know sometimes. But the truth is, I don't think many of them could bear it.
How did you come to be here?
Me? I started this place, in a different time, under a different Duke. I impressed the Duke with my research and my work ethic, and he became possessed of the notion that I would be ideal to lead a secret network of gifted investigators. I don't know how such an idea got into his head.
How old are you? She gives a half-hearted guess and covers her mouth with her crumpled fingers. You wicked man. Where are your manners? Were you raised without a shred of decency?
I lost count ages ago. Such a strange thing to celebrate, getting closer to death. Oh, I've had my share of work done to prolong my existence, if that's what you're wondering. I'm not ashamed of it. I'm not done here. There are things I still wish to learn. And I'll be the effigy if I let Bereth carry me off before I'm through. There was a time when I considered enlisting the theorems of Pondgrum to extend my life indefinitely. I found the thought of devouring my political enemies to sustain my own life greatly appealing. I must have gone soft with age.
Are you psychic?
If you are hoping I can look at your hand and tell you whom you should marry, you can just wipe that notion from your mind. I do not know what will happen tomorrow. That is what I pay spies for. Being a cipher is not unlike being a watcher. You notice more about what is already there. Many can hold an object and know where it's been, or peer into the thoughts of people around them. They can also sometimes affect those thoughts, but that would be unethical, of course. A tiny, talented few pick up so much about the world around them, they can get images of things to come, but these are fleeting and unreliable.
You said you don't know what will happen tomorrow.
Who said I was talented? I don't. Least not that I can trust. And with me, it's only ever about one thing anyway.
What's that?
A quiet day at home.
Is there a Lord Webb?
There was.
What happened to him?
He believed in dying with dignity. He was old-fashioned that way, my husband. We saw the world very differently, he and I. But he was good to me while he lasted.
Let's talk about something else. She looks at you expectantly. I have other questions?
Yes?
No, let's talk about something else. There is something I can tell you about the leading key operations.
Well, let's hear it.
I found Theos in Brackenbury Sanitarium impersonating a patient. He was trying to damage the public opinion on animancy.
Forgive me, it is unlike Theos to leave witnesses. He must be furious. He did not aid you as you'd hoped, I take it? Well, take heart. With any luck, when he has finished his business, he will surely come and find you again, if only to kill you while you sleep. This news of yours makes sense, of course. To dabble in animancy is to puzzle over the secrets of the gods. This would not be the Leaden Key's first action against it. But if this is connected to their other activities, we may be in for something on a much larger scale. If we can learn more about their goals and methods, perhaps we can get the palace behind us. With Avar's support, we may be able to put a stop to this.
The Anglican Tower in Heritage Hill contains an ancient machine that can control the flow of souls. the Leaden Key activated it.
This is troubling. That civilization seems to have known more about the mechanics of souls than anyone since. The Leaden Key was born in that period. It may be that Theos has full knowledge of their technology. The applications of this machine you speak of, I don't want to think about it. That isn't enough to take to the Duke, but we're close. Avar Wolfgren is a cautious man. He will want to know everything possible before being moved to action.
The Leaden Key is manipulating a group of Angwithan machines that span the country, and it seems to be causing the Hollowbone epidemic.
I had feared they might be involved in Widewind's legacy. It seemed too extreme even for them. How naive I've been. The Leaden Key's conspiracy is clear now. They have used Angwithan technology to engineer Widewind's legacy, and they want people to blame Animancy for it. As we speak, the Duke is holding hearings in the palace. He is listening to arguments for and against Animancy. When they finish, he is expected to decide whether to outlaw it. It seems the Leaden Key has been pushing Deerwood down this path for some time. I, for one, would enjoy seeing their little scheme fouled up at the last moment. Our Duke must hear what you have to say. Unfortunately, the hearings are closed to the public, which makes the Duke inaccessible until they are completed. However, certain groups have been invited to attend. You might get in with one of them if you aren't above a little pandering. There are delegations from the Knights of the Crucible, the Dozens, and from House Dominel. If you can gain the support of one of those groups, that may be your best way in. See what you can arrange.
Very well. For now. Lady Webb has asked me to keep her informed anytime I'll learn more about the Leaden Key's activities in Deerwood. Anything I can discover in pursuing the leads I obtained in the catacombs of the Woodicang Church would be used to her. I told Lady Webb about the Leaden Key work in Heritage Hill. I informed her of what I was able to glean from the soul of the dead Leaden Key member in Cleaban Rilac. After having run across Taos in Brackenbury Sanitarium, I let Lady Webb know what he seemed to be trying to destroy the reputation of Animancers. In order to attend the Animancy hearing at the palace, I need to be sponsored by one of the three main factions represented at the hearings: the Knights of the Crucible, House Dominel, or the Dozens. The Knights of the Crucible have a keep in First Fire. The House Dominel has a manor in Brackenbury. The Dozen are based out in the Expedition Hall in Copper Lane. And we are already a part of the Dozens. So, let's quick save and try out the audition at the Duke.
The hearings could end any day now. You mustn't waste any time in securing a way in.
I want to discuss the Animancy hearings at the palace.
What of them?
Wouldn't they allow a guest of Dunridrow into the hearings?
We would only do that as a last resort. Walking in with one of the three invited groups puts you in a position of influence. Walking in alone as a representative of Dunreed Row would earn you distrust among all the rest. It seems our organization has a reputation for nosiness and manipulation, for whatever reason.
She glances to one side.
It would be best if people did not see Dunreed Rowe's hand in this. Easier for them to embrace the truth.
What is there to know about the Duke?
Avar is many things to many people, and that is why he sits the throne. To the frontiersmen, he is one of their own. To the patriotic, he is a sole descendant of Admeth Hadrit. To the nobility, he is from an old and established family. All of these are half-truths or exaggerations, a tale he has spun around himself. The man behind the tale may not be the greatest mind in Deerwood, but he knows people. He knows when they are sincere and when they lie. He knows when they are strong and when they are weak. The other matters he leaves to me. Outwardly, he prefers to come off a bit of a simpleton. Don't be fooled. Before he was a duke, he was a trapper, and an excellent one at that.
Let's talk about something else. One again.
What of them?
For a while. Okay, let's go to Copper Lane to discuss if they manage our audition. This bounty that's come up in a long while, and guess who steals it out from under me? Bine, that rotten bastard. At least he didn't kill you. Him and the Genslayers are mean sons of a bitches. Venom casually nods your way. His eyes continue to flow through Menserene to Menserene as he speaks. What else do you need? So, the dozens are part of the animancy hearings at the Ducal Palace.
Someone's got to keep the blazing Crucible Knights from leading us all to ruin, and the Dominels certainly aren't doing their part. But Wolfgren's still a man of the people. He's always been sensible in other matters. He'll hear us out eventually.
What are your thoughts on animancy? It will be our downfall if we let it. Kith weren't meant to meddle in matters of the soul, and it's only fools that can see it. Or troublemakers that won't. He leans in, arms folded, and I suspect we've got more than a few of those vying for the Duke's heir. Cheats and frauds looking to profit from a disaster. How are the hearings going? Morley tells me it's a rough fight. The Duke's looking for any means he can to combat the legacy, and everyone knows the Knights are working on him in the background. As for the Dominels, I can't tell what they're up to. Probably taking coin from the Knights to keep this whole farce going. I was hoping to attend the animancy hearings with the dozens. He claps you on the shoulder. It will be good to have you there under our banner. Someone got to convince the Duke to abandon this folly. The Duke will hear the truth about animancy. Benan casually nods your way. His eyes continue to float from mercenaries he picks. What else do you need? Farewell. Hmm, well. No, I am formally invited to the animancy hearing. I should return to Lady Webb and update her on my progress. I've been invited to join the Dozens delegation. And we have one more quest. But
Oh?
let's check it in a few seconds.
No, no. What's impressive is cleaving a man's spine without lopping the head clean off. That takes aim.
Did that once. My case was an accident, and I still wake up some nights feeling bad for him.
So let's get back to Brackenbury and speak with her. But before...
Hey, I'm sorry about what I said before. About the skin-faced Orlans.
It's all right. I knew what you were trying to say, and that's why I didn't gut you.
I didn't know I was saying something bad.
I get it. I get it. Let's just put it behind us.
Now that we're friends again, is it okay if I pet you?
What? No! Damn it, Adair! Is your family tree just one looping square?
Okay, let's... Before moving in, let's check the quest we have. Among the kind wayfarers, in the event that a member of the Order dies of natural causes, it is customary for the Paladin to request burial in a dangerous place that is difficult to reach. In fulfilling their lost comrade's request, the other kind wayfarers forge new paths that other may more easily follow. When the elder paladin Aldram Delfar died, his brothers and sisters set out for Red Flower Lake in a remote eastern part of Red Seras, but they never reached their destination. With so few kind wayfarers left in that part of the eastern reach, the Order has reached out for assistance in recovering their comrades and helping see them to their resting place. So, let's give it to Maneha this time. And now, back to Lady Web again. So, here we are, but before talking to her, I think it's time to quit the episode for today, or for now, and we talk to her again in the next episode. So, thanks a lot for coming by and watching me playing this awesome game, and hopefully I'll see you again soon. So if you liked what you have seen, feel free to follow my Twitch channel or Mixer channel or subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thanks again for watching and enjoy the rest of your day. See you soon.